Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is all about my favorite subject, romance. Gross. So get ready for love. Get ready for romance. Get ready for me to say gross like 18 million times. Get ready to hear me say like 18 million times more than that. However much that is. And remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice because they love you, or just simply your subconscious mind helping you sort life out. And no matter how you look at that, it is healthy and you are in the right place. Okay, so we have deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. Group 1, group 2, group 2, group... Oh, I know. What is she going to call them in the description box? We just don't know. Let me show you the decks we will be using. This particular reading is for singles. So people who are currently single. If you are currently in a relationship, fear not, my soul friends. I made one for you as well. This poor box has seen much better days. Anywho, you can tell I use this deck a lot. I also have it in mini form. Okay. You're like, why is she laughing? That wasn't that funny. You're right. It wasn't. This one. This one, you may recognize these because we've used them before. This one gives me summer vibes. It's still summer while I'm filming this, so it's still way too hot for me. It's only 82 degrees. I'm like, oh, stifling, so terrible. Ugh, so hot. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm a big wimp when it comes to being too warm. Okay. And then just for, those are tarot for each one. And then all of you will be getting some hummingbird cards. That's these ones right here. And this deck, everybody that reads tarot or oracle readings has this deck. I've seen it. All right. I use it quite a bit. Sorry. Those of you that aren't off sick now because I just made everybody motion sick. All right. So this is for singles only. If you're in a relationship, hop over to the taken, or, you know, you're in a relationship pile. It'll be these exact same cards. So if you're like, but I wanted those ones, guess what? You'll get to. All right. Good grief. We'll see you in your individual ones. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Hello, hello, pile 1. So if you picked... I know I didn't do this before. Sorry. I'm terrible at this. So thanks for sticking around. If you picked the cat tarot for this one, I'm pretty sure that's... Yeah, it's not called that. It's called the Tarot of Pagan Cats. It's important to know the distinction. But in any event, if you chose this deck for your reading, let's find out about what's coming towards you in the romance department. I know, you probably couldn't tell by my description earlier what the heck this reading was even about. And you're just like, I guess I'm single, so I guess I'll stay here. It's cool. Just go with it. Oh. Did you feel that one? Okay. Let's start with these and see how we do. All right, so we have the 8 of Pentacles. I love this 8 of Pentacles because it's like, it's not just somebody like plugging away at like their job. It's like they're like mind blown by something. They're like exploding with like great ideas. It's so great. Oh, 3 of Wands. Excellent. Ooh, the Devil. Don't worry. And the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, So right off the bat, what I'm seeing here, single people, definitely getting some breakup vibes. Some of you might be newly single. If you're not, that's okay. Don't you go anywhere. Actually, you can leave if you want. I can't make you stay. But that being said, if you did just recently get out of a breakup, I like what I'm seeing with that devil card showing up where it is, because it's like, see how the star is upside down in this one, and in this one it's right side up. Don't worry, I'm not going to go into that whole, oh, this symbol is evil and this one is righteous. No, that's they're both good symbols in their own right, depending on what their message might be. Okay, with the devil card, sometimes the devil can just simply mean that you need to enjoy earthly pleasures, or that you're enjoying them a little too much. And that could be like eating, I don't know, like eating a whole tub of ice cream. That's me. I have no shame about it. I don't. I'm the one that has to die when I die. I'm not saying everybody should eat ice cream that much. I'm just saying that I choose to, okay? And that's my right. Anyway, they're like, oh my gosh, maybe we should talk to her about her problem with ice cream. So it can mean like some imbalance of like earthly delights, okay? So like eating too much or drinking too much, or, you know, knocking back too much of the cocaine, you know, that kind of thing. I'm just throwing out examples. I'm not calling anybody out for anything specific you might be doing. And everybody's like, why do I feel like I'm talking to my mom right now? I don't know. Maybe you are. And then they run. Okay, so anywho, it's like the devil card is always about taking control of your own life, or needing to take control, because the subjects that are chained by the devil energy are quite able to slip those chains off and get away if they wanted to. And so if it's a stuck energy that you're stuck in, you're kind of choosing to stay there, even if it feels like you're not. So like a lot of times, like with addiction, it doesn't feel like we have a choice. Okay. And I get that totally. And if that's the case, then you got to reach out for like help from people around you. It's just something that you have to do. You can't do it on your own. But the card itself, it's like this idea of like needing to move forward, needing to embrace the pleasures of life, or pump the brakes a little bit and get more balance. When I'm reading with the people that are recently broken up, let's start with you. It's like you're almost feeling like with that breakup, like possibly it felt very, very much like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're ending. This is like the worst thing that could ever happen. You know, if you dating that person way back in the beginning were to know that it was going to end up this way, you would have been like, just kill me now, right? Because it would have felt that real and that painful. I'm not exaggerating. Such is the way of love, right? Gross. That being said, and remember, if I say gross, I'm just talking about love and making a funny. I really don't think it's that gross. But if I did, that's my problem. Anywho, it's like being let out of prison almost. It's like once you had some time to kind of just do your own thing, work on what you need to work on, and make the plans just for you, and not being like chained to this other person. It's like you feel that independence and abundance of the Queen of Pentacles, of that like, I don't need no partner. I've got it all by myself. Now, the queens are nurturing, and like they always have like a corresponding king. But notice how none of those guys showed up. Okay. So it's almost like you're coming into your own, like flourishing on your own. The bunny rabbit is always a sign of like not just independence, but bravery, of courage, of actually like hopping into the world, even though you're a cute little bunny and you might get splattered by a truck. Okay. You gotta go get your clover, bunny rabbits. You gotta go. And so you muster that courage and you go out, and look, he ended up really doing really good with all the, You know, there's a cat there that's not trying to eat him right now, so that's nice. And we got grass and little roses. Notice how we've got like 4 different colors of roses. 5 different colors. Okay. So it's like you've gained all of this appreciation for this freedom, like getting out of something that made you feel like a prisoner. Okay. It's like only having to worry about yourself for a change. And sometimes that can come along with like some guilt, right? But don't guilt is just a feeling, okay? It's real and yet it's not. Does that make sense? It's like it's a real feeling, but you know, like Al Pacino said in that one movie, it's like a sack of bricks. You just got to set it down, right? He was the devil in the movie that he said that in. Give me a shout out if you know what movie that is. Anyway, give me a shout out if you liked that movie or watched that movie. Give me a shout out if you've never watched it and then you went and watched it and you're like, Miriam, why would you watch something so dark? It's so dark. Because I liked it. Okay. I like dark cinema. Sorry, I digress. It could be like allowing yourself to like take some pleasure in the dark, right? Like your shadow aspect of like, yeah, I'm gonna be selfish for a bit. Sorry. But like you're not really sorry because you're like, I already gave a lot. And so I'm gonna take care of me now. Okay. I love that. I love that energy. I've been feeling that energy from a lot of people actually. Like I've actually had 2 separate conversations this week where people said basically that exact same thing. They're like, I've given and given and given. And then I've said that this week. We're all so connected. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it's almost like that's the mind blown part is that idea that you don't have to worry about anything else other than what is helping you right now. And how special and lucky of a time is that, where you don't have to worry about anything but what you have in front of you, what you've got planned for you. If there's prizes to be had or abundance to be gifted because of this energy, you don't have to share it with anybody. And I know that sounds like selfish, but like I'm feeling that if you picked this pile, that's what you kind of need. Okay. Cats generally will take care of themselves first, right? And it's not because they're awful, evil creatures like people always say. Okay. They're just not dogs. They're just not dogs. They're not bred to die for you, right? They're totally undomesticated, in my opinion. Can you tame a cat and have it come live with you? Absolutely. But is that on that cat's terms? For the most part, like if that cat doesn't like you and doesn't want to be there, it's going to find a way to get away. Okay? One way or another. And if you don't believe me, well, your cat's probably pretty happy and didn't try to get away now. You're like, Miriam, you're such a weirdo. I am. Okay, let's see what else we've got for my singles crowd. If you're not in a recent breakup, hold on. Those people already bounced. Like, she's never going to get to me. Here I am. Sorry. Hang in there. If you didn't just get out of a breakup, what I'm seeing here is that you also feel like you kind of got let out of prison. Some of you. Hang on, there's 2 parts. Oh, it's so hard to keep straight. Bear with me, guys. One of the last of the people who haven't just gotten in a breakup, like maybe you've been single for a while is what I'm hearing. Some of you feel like you just got let out of prison. Some of you are not allowing yourselves that freedom pleasure thing. Hang on. So the ones that feel like they just got let out of prison, but you've been single for a while, it's almost like you need to let yourself out of the prison of feeling like it's some kind of a shameful thing to be single, or that you're not like a whole person without like being in a relationship. Yeah, sometimes it makes life more fun, but it also makes things more complicated. Okay. The other thing is that some of you are like enjoying being single, but you're like not letting anybody know it. Like you're just like holding this like close by to yourself. Like I just won't tell anybody I'm liking being single so much. Like even so much to the point where people are like, "How you doing, so and so? Are you sad? Are you sad about being single?" Right? Uh, like those people that are like, "We're all getting married. Don't you think you should be getting married too?" You're like, "Yeah, because that's how it works. Just like put it in my schedule, and that'll just make it happen." Okay. A lot of times, like, people think that you should be doing things by certain ages or at certain times in your life. And, like, that's just not how, like, real life works. Like, back in the covered wagon days, you'd go with your, like, 6 or 7 spouses, not because you couldn't make a relationship work, because they, like, all friggin' died. And you're like, well, it's the Wild West. And so you get married again. It's safety in numbers. Okay, so anyway, I digress. Some of you are enjoying that feeling, but like you're not letting on to others that that's how you feel. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as you just make sure you're allowing yourself to enjoy it. Some of you feel like you're getting out of that prison of like feeling like you should feel like you're with somebody, okay? Feeling like that's what people need to like be complete or to make them happy. Like you're realizing that that was like kind of trapping you in like a certain like a mode of understanding or a mode of belief that just doesn't suit you anymore. Okay. Be the star of your own movie, you guys. That's always something I'm going to repeat over and over again. That and a million other quotes from a million other movies. Was that a quote? I don't think so. I think that covers the tarot. You guys are like, yes, please. Move on, Miriam. Let's get you a hummingbird card. The hummingbird cards, notice how they have a darker corner up at the top than they do on the bottom, right? And some different coloring. So we always read these upright. If a card if I can't tell which side it's on from the back, then I read reversals. If not, then we just take them for what they are upright. We have frolicking fun. Yeah, see? Flip, flutter, and fly with a playful heart. Yes. It's like if you're newly single and you feel like you just got let out of prison, celebrate that, enjoy yourself. It's like, it's like when you're like a little kid and your parents finally leave you alone for the first time. You're like, oh my gosh. And you're like the kid on Home Alone where you're just like eating whatever you want and running around dressed as however you please and just enjoying that freedom, right? So yeah, frolic in that. Have fun. I feel like that goes for all of you, okay? If you're somebody that I'm not really feeling that somebody needs to back up off of the earthly pleasures. I know I said that earlier, but I feel like almost like if that's what you're telling yourself, to stop it. And tell me to stop it too. Stop it, Miriam. All right, let's see what else we've got. Hello, hello. Oh, and forgiveness. Yeah, like enjoying where you are now based on where you were before. A lot of times that ties into forgiveness, right? About you can finally, like, it's not so much of like telling somebody like, I forgive you. It's okay that you cheated on me or that you made me feel like I was living in a prison when really I was just living with you. They're like, Miriam, that was so harsh. It felt a little harsh. But that's the first step to forgiveness, is being able to let go. Not so much excusing, but letting go of that resentment, of just not carrying it with you anymore. Okay? I can tell you right now, I've never told anybody that what they did was okay. Unless they genuinely didn't mean to. And then I say, you didn't mean to. It's not your fault. Right? But if they like maliciously did something, like I can't ever say or excuse it and be like, it's okay. It got me to where I am now. I can think that like, it's okay that that happened to me, but I'm never going to like hand them a pass. Right? But it's more about letting go and like being free of it. That freedom aspect again, of being able to just be happy and be the star of your own movie. This like mind-blowing idea of like, those little like rings that everybody has, and it's like, you're enough. I feel like some of you might actually need to like kind of mantra that to yourselves of like, you are enough just how you are. Oh, hang on. We got another client coming in. Okay, so that all being said, yeah, I feel like you just need to be the star of your own show. I'm telling you what. There is no shame to being on your own for a bit, right? Whenever you're watching a movie with a person in it, like they're the star of the show and they might be single for a time. It might even be a show about them hating that they're single, but you never, as the audience member, watch them and think they weren't a whole person before they found that other person, right? Even Jerry Maguire was his own person, you know. He just wanted his wife to share things with. And then he, cribbed that line from another guy in the elevator. All you youngsters are like, what is she talking about? I know, it's really bad. Okay, I think that's all I have for you, my pile ones. So please let me know how this resonated for you. If it did, give me topic ideas. Also, in that comment section, if you will, like and subscribe, help me grow. If you'd like to book a private reading, there are a couple of different ways to do that in the description box. I thank you so kindly for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time with your being single and just having a good old time being the star of your own show. All right. We will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile 2. So if you picked green moss agate bracelet here that I didn't show you in the intro because I'm spacey, what can I say? I'm sure you've probably figured that out by now. Look at what we have here. Let's see what's going on for my single people in pile number 2 in the romance department. By the way, if you're single and loving it, hop on over to pile number 1 because there's some messages in there for you. Okay. But then come back over here because I have no idea what's going to happen with you. My goodness. Here's another one. What else we got? Okay. Hello. Hello. And you. And. Okay. Lots of cards. Should tell me plenty. All right, I'm just going to flip them over as we go. We have Knight of Swords, King of Swords, 7 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and the Wheel. Ooh. Okay. What's this doing? Oh, no. All right. Queen of Cups and 7 of Pentacles. All right. Those just hopped in there at the end. They just got a brazen. Your guides were like, we're not done. Okay. Ooh, this is going to be a doozy. Lots of information coming in. I feel like some of you have lots of information swirling around you or coming in as well. Like lots of communication in some cases. Lots of networking possibly. So possibly work stuff might be coming into play. Professional lives. Sorry, I'm trying to make these all fit without obscuring them all from each other. Okay, here we go. I'm just making it worse. Okay. Ugh, now I have to hope that it just stays undisturbed for the remainder of this reading for you guys. Okay, so first off with the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. Swords are all about our, can be about our anxieties. It can also be about challenges, right? It can also be about truth and communication. And so I'm seeing that some of you are getting a lot of communication, almost like a lot of maybe unsolicited advice from some people. I'm seeing that like, yeah, I'm kind of seeing it from here all the way across the board. So let me let me see what's going on with you guys first. And then if this doesn't apply to you, hang in there because there's a bunch of stuff coming in. So I see like this communication. Okay, this is that age-old deal. All right, singles. I'm going to throw the single stuff out there because you all are in the singles group, right? If you're not, then you accidentally picked the wrong video. You need to go over and find the one for taken in a relationship already. People reading same cards, okay? Not the same exact cards. I reshuffled them. Anyway, my point being is that it's like that age-old thing where it doesn't matter what you do. Somebody always has that like cautionary advice for you in this situation, my pile twos. It's like that, say you just broke up with somebody, okay? And then everybody's like, are you sure that's what you really want? Or you went out on a couple of dates since the breakup, and then everybody's like, are you sure that it's not too soon? All that communication stuff. And let's say maybe you don't go out on some dates and you're just kind of chilling by yourself, enjoying being single, healing, and moving on from like an experience that might not have felt so great, right? Or maybe you've been single for a while. Then you've got that whole, are you sure you're not isolating? Are you sure you're not, are you going to put yourself out there? Lordy, I hope these people that are telling you these things are not saying it in that horrible voice, because that would make it even more annoying. I think they mean well. It's just that thing that people do. It's like you could be in a happy relationship and you're like, we're happy, we're engaged, we're moving in together. Like, okay, but you need to slow down. Don't move too fast because, or say you move in together and you're living together and then they're like, oh, have they proposed? Is there a reason why they haven't? Like, it just, ugh. First off, shuck all that stuff off. Shuck it. I was like trying to say chuck it, and then I started saying shuck it, like you shuck corn. Same difference, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. Harvest time. I'm filming this during harvest time, and maybe somebody has corn crops they're thinking about. I don't know, guys. That came out of nowhere. Anyway. It's like everybody's idea is like what they think you should do. And they have no problem telling you about it, right? You need to do this. Careful, don't do that. Like they like to tell you what to do with your money, what to do with your choices, what to do with your relationships, your time. Even maybe so far as to like ask you why you're dressed the way you are. So y'all are in the single pile. If you recently just broke up and that's why you're single, the type of stuff I'm hearing are the things that are like, well, it's okay. You just need to take some time for you. And if you like go on a date, even if it's casual, are you sure you're not moving too fast? That was so hard for you. Maybe you should just be with yourself for a while. It's okay for y'all to tell them to mind their own business. Have you ever tried that? It feels really great. Or just be like, I got it. It's fine. I don't know. Or at the very least, like let it go in one ear and out the other, because they don't know what you're going through and what you've struggled with and what's happening. What they also don't know necessarily is that this all happened in divine timing with the Wheel of Fortune. Everything's happening exactly to the development of what it should. Okay. You're heading towards this Queen of Cups energy. And there's just some growing and some healing and some like contemplation to be done, right? And Queen of Cups is very much about emotional fulfillment, being in a mature, nurturing relationship down the road, right? Or even just finding that for yourself in a single life, okay? There, like, more is to be revealed. Like, it hasn't even totally developed yet. So these guys that are telling you how to think and how to feel, get back out there, don't move too fast. I have the perfect person for you, and you already told them you don't want to date anybody, right? Stuff like that. I see you having to kind of communicate and express that that kind of stuff doesn't make you feel better like ever, even once, right? It makes you feel overwhelmed. It makes you feel like it doesn't matter what you do, that like everybody's going to keep seeing you as like this area of improvement that needs to be cleaned up. And nobody wants to feel like that, including the people that, especially the people that are doing that, because a lot of that is the look over there syndrome. Like, oh, are you single? I'm not, so I'm going to bring up how single you are. Oh, you don't have kids? Well, I'm going to bring up how many kids I have. Or vice versa, right? So, oh, you... I'm getting tired just talking like these fictional characters. But I feel that like, and like sometimes the words like hurt, like they actually make you feel like you're being like stabbed in the back a little bit. Like, well, thanks a lot, Clarissa. Wow, Clarissa, that's a new name. I've never even met anybody named Clarissa. It's actually kind of a pretty name. Anybody out there named Clarissa? This is not about you. I was just grabbing a random name. But it's like maybe somebody like you actually opened up to them about how you felt about something, and then they turned back around and said, well, you've never gotten along with so-and-so very well. And you're like, I literally just had a whole conversation about how I would love to get along with so-and-so, but I can't because they just don't want to get along with me. And why would you say that, right? Or, well, you've always given up on relationships too quickly or whatever. And it like makes you feel hurt. Like you're not understood, right? Or save your money, not like this last time. Stuff like that. And don't worry about your money. If you're worried about your money situation, like if this breakup cost you money, which does happen, the more serious the relationship, the more it costs to break up. Emotionally, monetarily, it's so hard. You're going to be okay. You're going to regrow your wealth. Okay, so that's also something I wanted to make sure that I threw out there for my singles people. I'm not seeing a ton of, hey, a romance is right around the corner, but I am seeing that Queen of Cups, which is like the Queen of Hearts, okay? And so I do see like some kind of satisfaction in romance or love, right? It's not always how we look or want things to look when we're thinking about our little happy ending, sunshine and rainbows, the Hollywood ending, right? Of riding off in the sunset together and you just have this blissfully mundane life and everything always makes sense. And then you both die of old age on the same day, right? Very, very rarely is this the case, okay? None of us know how much time we have on the earth. And so, yeah, every relationship that you were in that you just got out of technically could have been your last relationship, right? Depending on where you end up in the whole lifeline and fate zone, okay? But I'm seeing that, sorry, I'm dropping things. I just dropped my drink, but it had a lid on, so we're just gonna leave it there. Clearly it was not meant to be, and I'm sorry if that deafened anyone, dropping that on the hard floors. Anywho, what was I saying? Yeah, it's like, if I want y'all to try to, if you're not there yet, get to that place where this stuff doesn't affect you as much. And trust me, I need to get there myself. I'll chit chat to somebody all day long about how somebody hurt my feelings and I just don't care about it. And meanwhile, the amount of me talking about it clearly shows how much I'm thinking about it, which clearly means I kind of care about it, at least on some kind of a level, right? That if you can let it go and just do and recognize that you're not behind, you're not moving too fast, you're not moving too slow. Everything's developing exactly as it should. And I honestly see with this energy here that you have what it takes within you to feel like you're not in any rush, okay? It's when these guys start buzzing in your bonnet that you start being like, maybe I'm not doing it right? Or at the very least, the fact that you're not being perceived as doing it right bothers you, that's how people see you. I feel that. I get irked like that. Like I feel like I'm doing fine. But if somebody points out that I need to improve something, I automatically start thinking, oh, you just think I'm like a total screw up, that I'm just over here not even trying, and that things for me aren't like really hard, and that I'm always constantly trying, right? I get indignant. That's that righteous indignation of you don't know me. What kind of cereal do I like? How dare you? All right, let me see if I can get us some oracle cards. I am seeing that if you do have a romance in your future with this Queen of Cup energy, it's going to happen exactly when it needs to happen. And if you're thinking, when is it going to happen? When you're hanging on way too tight. And I know you're probably like, I hate you, Miriam. I hate me too. I do. I also hate not being on my timeline and being on the universe's timeline, because it doesn't go as fast as I want it to. And then when I'm enjoying myself, it goes way too fast. Okay, let's get you an oracle card from the hummingbirds. Oof. Your heart's desires are taking flight joyfully and magically. Okay, yes, wishing well. Okay. So remember, your life is what you make it. It's not what people say you're doing. Okay. I want to put this right over the top of those two things. It's not what these guys are saying you need to do. Okay. It's not. It's what you need to do right now for you to get to these feelings of contentedness, peace, letting things develop as they're supposed to. It's just the path of least pain. You know what I mean? Let me see what else we've got for you. I see it already. Hello. Oh, psychic abilities. So some of you know already that that's what you need to do. Some of you already kind of have an idea about what singleness is. Like, here's the deal, y'all. You could be married to the same person for 30 some odd years and still feel totally alone. I'm going to grab another one for that psychic. Yes. Start paying attention to your dreams, because that has some psychic messages in there from your guides or your dreams about how to make your wishes become reality. I think some of you might not know for sure what you want to wish for right now. And that's another reason why everybody's telling you what to do. Because you're just kind of waiting to see what you want, and that's totally fine. They're like, but have you thought about, you're not getting any young? Oh, my word. Man, these people need to shut up. Okay. You're probably like, hey, don't tell my family to shut up. Well, I might have just did. Sorry. Yeah. Like, I'm seeing that you intuitively know that you are in the right spot, that you are in the right place, and luck is on your side. You're right exactly where you need to be. These guys are just doing what the rabble does, you know? That little, like, crowd mentality. When I say rabble, I mean, like, those people that are, like, hanging out below the castle that, you know, if you tell them the wrong thing, they're just going to, like, rip you to shreds. You got to appease them and keep them calm. And I'm not saying all those people down there were like that and they're just like these animals that need to be controlled. But like there's that group mentality where things get kind of frenzied and we don't make the same sound individual decisions that we would make if we were on our own. And that's why it's so hard to sort your own thoughts sometimes when you've got all those different ideas coming at you. And like then they think that they have to give you a loophole for everything or a cautionary tale for every good thing that happens to you. And honestly, it's just yucky juju. One thing that I find helpful, especially if I've just come out of a breakup or some sort of change has befallen me that I'm not exactly that comfortable with, and the people around me are trying to help, right? And so instead of like helping, they kind of commiserate with you and still like, I can't believe they did this to you. This is so awful and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I have to like put my hand up and say, hey, I really appreciate you saying that, but it's not what I need to hear right now. I need to hear some positive things. And usually they will go out of their way, you know, to say what it is you need to hear. I think people just don't always know what to say. And sometimes they feel like they need to say something when really they don't need to say or shouldn't say anything at all. Yeah. I think that's what I have for my singles for pile 2. I hope this was helpful. Check out pile 1 because I definitely think there's some messages in there for you as well. If you feel like there was just a little bit missing from this one, I think you might be able to scoop up the rest in that one because they were semi-similar in the fact that I didn't see this being like, even if you've been single for a while, and some of you just came out of a breakup, some of you didn't, that even if you've been single for a while, you're not just frantically trying to rush in, right, to find somebody. And that was kind of the same case with pile 1. It was like very introspective crowd of, I'm the star of my own show. I need to find out what I need to do. Love it. Okay. If this was helpful, give me comments on how it helped you. If you would like me to do a topic in the future, give me topic ideas in the comments section if you'd like to book a private reading with me. There are a couple ways to do that in the description box. You can also just email me and I can give you an idea of what kinds of different services I provide. Thank you so much, Pile 2s. I greatly admire each and every one of you. Digging your energy. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye-bye-bye. Pile 3, how are you? If you chose this crazy lace agate, I think that's what it's called. I don't know. It's quite blue, quite pretty. Then this is the deck you chose, and we're going to look and see what the single folk in pile 3 are getting up to in the romance department. Did I just go Southern there again? Like, what's up? That doesn't sound... I don't even understand what I'm doing anymore. Ugh. Okay, I feel that one. Oh. Also feeling this one. Definitely feeling that one. This one. This one. This one. Okay. It's weird. Pile 1 only got like 4 tarot cards. But I talked about them for a long time. Okay. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. Ah, bless me. Okay. Anything else? Ah! Well, I guess that one wanted to come out. We're going to put this over here on its side like it fell. And yeah, and then we're just going to get right into it. Went Southern again there. Okay. I'm just going to flip them over as we go. We got the High Priestess, 4 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, the Hermit, 9 of Cups, and then this came out on its side, the 5 of Swords. On its side. We're going to take it on its side. And you're like, what does that mean? You'll see. Okay. Man, my singles. I like how those line up. Do you see it? Very cool. My singles in pile 3, you are also rocking this vibe of you're not forcing anything. You're not forcing anything to happen. You're not antsy, waiting for something to materialize in the romance department. If you're newly single, I see you as like you intuitively knew that this wasn't like your marriage match or your, life partnership match for this lifetime, or it just wasn't like, you just knew it wasn't going to be a stable connection, or you realized that it wasn't going to be like that wasn't going to be it for you. I think deep down inside, even if you didn't like have that right out in front, some of you intuitively knew that like it was never going to be Four of Wands, which is like very well balanced, worth celebrating, etc. and so forth. I'm seeing for some of you, and this could go for newly single or been single for a while. I think that some of you got what you wanted in the sense that you still have connection to your children if you had children in that relationship. Does that make sense? So like this could be a divorce that happened a while back. It could be a divorce that just happened, okay? But you're single at this time. And those of you that had children from this relationship, that's like all that matters to you right now, is that you got the things that were important to you, your children, your friends, and yourself. Does that make sense? Because Three of Cups is always about like friends toasting to like a happy time or a happy place, okay? And it's usually like a platonic feeling, the Three of Cups to me. I let people know if I feel like it's like a, like sometimes it can indicate a third party, but that's not what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling like equality, good times. That's why I don't see people holding the cups. They stand on their own with that meaning, okay? So that we don't overanalyze what that connection is. We know it in its purest form. Does that make sense? So I'm like, does that make sense? Like, I'm gonna be able to hear you guys like, yes, Miriam, it makes sense. Very good. Good job, Joe. I don't actually know if I have a follower named Joe. Oh, that's a client. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. So that being said, yeah, it's like you intuitively knew it wasn't leading to Four of Wands energy. You got what you wanted, your kids, your friends. If there's no kids, don't worry about that. You know, maybe you got the dog or the car or the house, something like that. And you're like, that's all I needed. You can go. I also see that you have yourself, that you had yourself, that you took away a lesson from this, that you didn't stay bitter, okay? And whether that's new or you've been single for a while, whether you came about that gradually or it just happened right now, it's a good, healthy way that you're looking at it. So go ahead and tap that in on either side of one of your limbs here. That helps retrain your brain to think positively, which is healthier for you. Your guides want you to be healthy. If you believe in the guides. If you just believe in your brain, well, I just explained that part. All of this added up to the Nine of Cups, which is the wishing cups, the wishing well, you don't even need to get to a 10 because you're happy enough at that number 9. I'm seeing with the Five of Swords in the upright position can indicate a person that doesn't work well with others, okay? It also could indicate somebody who is willing to stand on their own, even though nobody else is doing that, okay? So there's like a mixed energy with Five of Swords. It can be good and bad, okay? I'm seeing that because it's on its side, that your energy in it is not really blocked. It's not really like flow. It's not reversed and it's not forward. It's like you're taking what you needed to learn from this and you're moving forward. I don't see you being bitter. I also don't see you like being like sorry. I'm trying so hard to cut myself of that habit, but I mean, you could turn it into a drinking game if you're 21 and into that sort of thing. Just kidding. Don't do that. You would end up sick because I literally say it that much. Okay. But I'm seeing a balance of you're not being bitter. Say that because it didn't turn into this, you're not like, oh, everybody in that gender realm, right? So like if you were dating a woman, right, you'd be like, oh, all women are terrible. You didn't do that. Does that make sense? And vice versa. Take however you need to with the genders, okay? But it's like you didn't like demonize all of them because of that one thing that one person did, right? You knew that it wasn't leading to this. You know that this is still possibly out there for you, right? And you're not going to compromise. So I see you being willing to not work with others if it's going to compromise you. Does that make sense? Like you're willing to be with these guys because they don't compromise you. You love them unconditionally, etc. and so forth. they love you unconditionally, etc. and so forth. And so you feel like you have what you need. You don't need anything else. You have yourself. You have what you need. You have richness in other areas. You know that this could be down the road if that's what the universe wants for you. You also know you're going to be okay if that's not what happens down the road. It's like this happy balance of I could join a team and fight on that side, or I could choose to stand on my own. It depends on what's right for me. I love that. I love that energy you're rocking. Pile number 3. Let's get you a hummingbird card. Or it can just get it itself. Okay, we always read these ones upright because their backs are not exactly the same upside down as they are forward. Okay. We have pollination. Rare. We have pay attention to new thoughts and ideas as they are seeds that will soon blossom into fulfilling opportunities and projects. Yeah, you're already there. Like you're already finding balance. I'm going to put that right over there. You're finding that balance. You're finding that that groove, right? So if you're newly single, you're realizing what it is you really want. If you've been single for a while, you're fine with it. This is maybe the first romantic reading I've done in a long time where I didn't have to tell you how gross you are. Just kidding. I'm not really going to say that to you unless you start getting all romantic, and then I'm going to get grossed out. You know me. I won't really get grossed out, but I say I am just to tease you. Yeah, blessings. You know what you have that's good, right? And you know that you don't need anything else. You are counting what you have as blessings and not thinking of, oh, I'm single. That means I don't have a mate or a partner or a spouse, right? You're actually looking at the blessings you do have. You have this to possibly look forward to with the right person, right? You have awesome relationships that are not romantic. They're just fulfilling in other ways. You have yourself. I love that you love yourself, right? You don't need anything else. You already are counting all of your blessings, right? Nine of Cups is all about blessings as well. So it's like, keep rocking that and keep pollinating that. Keep letting that like spread around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm seeing good things here, pile 3. Man, none of you are rushing out to be gross and fall in love right away. Like, I love that you're open to that, but you're also not compromising. You're like, yeah, that's cool if that happens, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to like compromise myself. Amen to that, my soul friends in pile number 3. So with that being said, I'm just going to kind of slip that over there to the side. That's basically what I have for you. Yeah, positive. Thank you for watching. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comments section. You can also give me topic ideas. If you see I'm clearly floundering and needing some ideas, or I'm just not getting to what you want to hear about, you go ahead and let me know. Also, if you'd like to book a private reading, you can do so. There are ways to do that in the description box. You can also just email me and find out what kind of services I provide. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, so go ahead and reach on out, even if you're just curious about what I do. You don't even have to book a reading if you don't want to. If you want to just ask me questions, you go right ahead. You go right ahead, sugar. I don't know whose guide that was. Kind of grandma vibes there. All right. Thank you so much, pile 3s. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hello, my singles in pile 4. So you picked this awesome purple crazy lace agate or something like that. All right. We are going to find out just what is going on with you in the romance department. And I'm feeling those 3 really hard. Okay. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it in my soul. Do we want more? Yes. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, well that was easy enough. Look at you. Look at you, pile 4. All right, we first have Justice. We have the Magician. We have the Devil. Ooh, the Sun. And 7 of Wands. Okay, very positive. Very, very positive. Pile fours. So my singles in pile four, I'm seeing that if you're newly single, some of you might have actually even gone through like a court breakup or like a divorce, okay? Or like maybe you're just both fabulously wealthy and you had to go to court because you know, you can't break up if you have money without having to go to court. I think that's how it is. If I ever make money, I'll let you know. That being, I'm just kidding. I'm doing okay. You know, I haven't bought that mansion yet. Anyway, I'm seeing that if that's the case, you feel like you came out on top. Okay. It ruled in your favor. You could also feel like balance was struck in some way if you didn't go to court. Like you felt like the fair thing that needed to happen happened. Okay. So, and that goes for if you're newly single or if you've been single for a while. That last breakup, hang on, I'm going to cough. Oh, sorry. That last breakup or whatever you went through, it restored balance to your life in some way. So like, I feel like even if it is a new breakup, that if you're newly single in some way, maybe it wasn't a breakup and you're just single, things happen. That you understand that that's just the way, that was just the trajectory of where your life was taking you, okay? I also am seeing that some of you are very good manifestors, but when I see the Magician next to the Devil, I just, you know, the fruits of the Devil, evil. What movie is that from? Tell me in the comment section. Anyway, sometimes the Magician can talk about somebody who has a lot of tricks up their sleeve, okay? Somebody who can be somewhat manipulative, someone that can like trick you into thinking that something is how it is when really it's not, etc. and so forth, okay? There can be deception in that Magician card. With the Devil popping up as well, I see that almost like some of you, and this is kind of the vibe I got with pile one also, I think the Devil card popped up for them also, is that some of you feel like you got away just in time, okay? That it was perfect timing, that you learned what you needed to learn, that you were being manipulated and you broke free from that. What I'm seeing, if the Magician is not taken that way, then I'm seeing that you felt like you came out on top because you didn't realize what you were capable of before you became single, and you realized you really can do it all or have it all, okay? I'm also seeing that some of you kind of walked on the wild side a little bit, but like in a good way, like enjoying the pleasures on earth, not shaming yourself. So maybe you went out and dated, you know, maybe you dated more than one person at once and you're like, I can because I'm single. Oh, there's a client. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. So what I was saying before is that you have like this, if you weren't being manipulated and you didn't escape that kind of manipulation, what I see is like in that singleness or becoming single, you sort of, you sort of did this thing where you like, you realized you could do it all is what I think what I was leaving off with. You realize you can do it all. You realize that there's like so much more that you can accomplish than you ever thought. I think that some of you didn't realize that there was a lot of things you could do on your own and that was empowering to realize that, and that you wouldn't have realized that if you hadn't been single. I'm also seeing that there's similar energy to this one and the last pile, in that some of you may have, if this was like a divorce or you had kids, that you're embracing that change and just moving forward with your family as it looks now, right? And with that Sun card, that turns everything else into a positive card. So it's like, yes, you will have victories over any challenges that come up against you during this time of singleness. And some of you may have been single for a while, so like you already know that that's the case. It will continue to be the case. I'm seeing happiness continuing to be the case, that you're looking on the bright side of things as opposed to thinking about what you've lost. You're looking at what you've gained. And that, my friends, is super duper special. Okay, sorry, I'm fiddling with that. Let me get your oracle cards. Is there something else I wanted to say? Nope, I'm just seeing you guys enjoying the single stuff. I love that, like, not a single one of these piles not a single one of you guys is focusing on lack. So if you are newly single, or you've been single for a while and you're really sad about it, I hope that you're finding some positivity in these readings, because I feel like it's such a positive way to look at being single. Like, very cool. All right, let's see what your hummingbird has to say. We have bird's eye view. Fly high and observe from above. Here you'll find a new perspective, greater understanding and compassion. Yeah, it's like you're choosing to have a higher road. Like you're going about this for a higher purpose. You know, it's not so much of, you know, who messed who over, whose fault was this, you know, breakup, whose fault is it that you're single. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm seeing you just like realizing during this time that there's so much that you can accomplish all on your own. If you haven't realized that, your guides are telling you very strongly that you need to realize that, okay, that you are enough. What else? Yeah, and a lot of times it's like, look at it like you would if you were looking at it differently. Take out a person who's single is not complete, or take out a person who's single is not successful, and think about how you would view somebody that you weren't being so critical of. Sometimes we're more critical of ourselves, and sometimes it gives us a better view to look at it from outside of ourselves. So like a lot of times I'll look at myself and think of it in the terms of like I would have, you know, say like a former student of mine. Students get all kinds of leeway with me, you know, because they're not my children. And so I only expect studious things from them. It's very hard to disappoint me. It's also very easy to be forgiven by me in that role. So it's like, if I can look at things and be like, well, what would I tell a student who was going through what I was going through? It changes. I'm so much less critical and more admiring of like their struggles and how they choose to move forward. Okay. So be viewing yourself in the way you would view somebody that you're a fan of. And if you see them, you know, being single or not quite being exactly where everybody else is right now or whatever, look at it more as you would if you were looking at somebody you admire, as opposed to like being critical of yourself. Okay, let's see what your spellcasting cards say. Yeah, lighten your load. Don't be hard on yourself, right? And just take care of you. Like I don't see that being a problem for this pile. Like I see you guys just kind of like, ooh, sorry, little tree. I see it as like this empowering thing. You know exactly what you can do, what your responsibilities are, and you're leaving it at that. I don't see you taking on anybody else's baggage, right? And that might have been something you used to do. Okay. And this experience has taught you not to do that. It also will carry forward into future partnerships and relationships that may come about in your future, is that idea of like, you're not focused on finding someone that's going to complete you and make you the happiest person alive, right? It's more like, I'm already happy. I'd love to share it with somebody, but I'm not going to compromise, right? I'm not going to slip back into old patterns and let myself be manipulated or let myself be treated in a certain way that's less than what I deserve because I'm afraid of being alone. That is like, you're so past that. Okay. And so that is what I've got for you, my singles in pile 4. Man, I did not say gross one time, except for just to be like, wow, I'm not saying gross. So if you were hoping that your reading was going to say like, oh, romance is on its way, don't be deterred by this. I think your guides just really wanted you to like take in what it is that you've accomplished on your own, because it's phenomenal. Okay. And I love that. I love that. Okay. That's all I've got. Give me some comments on how this resonated for you. If you would like to give me some topic ideas, go ahead and put that in the comments section as well. Like, and subscribe, share. Love it. Go ahead and book a private reading if you like. There are ways to do so in the description box. You can also just email me anytime and ask me questions about what it is I do and what sort of services I offer. So I thank you so much for being here. Pile 4, y'all take care now. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.